The final Danmachi Season 4 You Know the Drill moment. Literally wouldn't have a channel without my patrons. If you love what I do and can spare a few bucks a month, check it out below. Another one of those moments like in the past few episodes that serves to build up who she is today as a character, flaws and all, whilst also showing us more of others in her role group too. Us being shown other monsters down here rather than just the very creepy and numerous skull sheep thingies. 2 wins here. Firstly, great looking effects on this explosion. Secondly, I wanted to say, this really reminds me of difficult games I've played, where I've been forced to carefully inch my way through it, clinging to survival with everything I have. I spoke about this in the previous video, but I personally like seeing him torn up like this, struggling through, unlike most heroes we see in anime or anywhere else, doubting himself and so on. I also spoke about this, and so it's worth winning, how she is continuing to teach him a little, help him a lot mentally and emotionally here, and prop him up as he aids her in return. That was actually so sweet, to be honest. 2 more quick wins. Firstly, them finally heading down further into the dungeon towards Belle makes me feel all warm inside knowing they're cutting through the distance, but also seeing my waifu still being around. This scores the video's first max wins, unless you're watching a future compilation. Normally it'd be 1 between the animation and effects, but his screen was so good it tipped it over. Glad this is shown, otherwise the mangaka risked turning him into a walking god mode down there. Quick showcasing of the colour palette change between those 2 floors. His reaction there. Obviously I won't be showing it, but my god, the search party that was hit by the dungeon's creature a good few episodes ago. It's a mess! Half the win is again his reaction, but also clever how things like that creature can be used within the dungeon in order to aid in keeping themselves alive. So cute. All because he brought up what the Japanese call an indirect kiss after saying, "Sorry, I put my mouth on it." Now she's all shy. So adorable. Sights such as these are great at helping us see how insanely huge this part of the dungeon is, and helps add realism and lore as well. How much better is this than if the mangaka, say for example, made it so they found it within a few minutes, a few episodes back already? That's what I mean by the last win. This adds scale. Of course, with all the greatness, you forget that they're just now trying to piece what happened to Belle together. But all the same, it's great that this notion, the correct one, is now brought up. Season 4 has been a godsend to people like me who enjoy the darker side to anime. It just gets more and more dark as we hear that these creatures ate all the people who were taken out there. Things just keep on going against them, non-bloody stop. I think in all my years of watching anime, I've never felt this sense of tension and near dread for such a long period of time. He's cool, but seeing her in action is always amazing. me is that even if the dungeon were acting perfectly normal, this rescue operation would still be insanely hard to pull off, and obviously the dungeon is far from normal. Oh my goodness, is that Belle's friend? I wish I could show it, but adding on to the last win, other Xenos-looking creatures also turned up to help.
Mr. Bell と約束したのです。あなたたちが困っている時は、今度は我々が馳せ参じると。
Can you even imagine how much less awesome this would have been had they been helping literally from the start? Such a good choice to keep them out of it till now.
クラネルさんは今も理想を追いかけている。私と共に生き延びる未来を喜べ、かぐや。私ももうあなた側だ。
It's so sad that mentally she is already prepping herself to check out down there, giving her life in service of keeping Bell alive and getting him out. She's amazing in her strength.
アリーゼはどう思いますか?
Very sweet that she once did that finger-holding thing to her, that she in turn did to Bell to calm him down and motivate him in the last episode.
理想を叶えてしまう者がいたとしたら。
知らないの？そういう人はね、英雄っていうのよ。
Well now, if that isn't a strong nod in the direction of Bell and what he stands for and what he's been trying to do all these seasons, then I don't know what is.
泣かなかったんだよ。ハリ姫たちが失敗しないようにずっと。
Oh, I totally forgot what a sweetheart this girl is.
あのモンスター、前にダイダラス通りの前で。
どうなってるんだ?
Oh yeah, this season feels so long that I totally forgot that they're not part of the family and aren't aware of the Xenos and their true nature and everything else. So I'm keeping that prior win because it was ultimately a great plot twist that they'd turn up to help anyway, but as you may have noticed, that creature that first helped was not Marie. Got fond memories of this guy. I remember that the way he talked reminded me a lot of the main character in the 2 new Yakuza games. I may have been playing Infinite Wealth when I did Season 3. Filled me with legit so much joy to hear that message relayed to her. Belle was taken to the lower floors. You can join us if you want. We will carve a path for you. So damn good.
そんな思いつきの作戦、うまくいくと思ってるの？可能かどうかじゃない。成し遂げるんです。
How utterly unrelenting she is in her quest to get Belle back. It's fast approaching a point where it's just thrilling to watch Belle in normal combat. Like, the animators did such a good job of visibly showing his improvement. Exactly what I was talking about before. Just when they seem to be able to cope with the level of mob, suddenly 3 are cracking through the wall to attack them. Might be one of the first times that I myself saw him as a proper hero. He always had hero-like moments, but yeah, when he saved her here and how he looked, he fit the bill for me. Also take one here for how well he took her advice and put it to use with his moves, causing monsters to take out other monsters. I had wondered where this thing was. Crazy to know it's been hunting them all this time on that floor. In a way, they're lucky the floor is so huge. Colour me shocked that it's even going after other monsters. Although in fairness, the Moss Huge did that too, but it's still unique. Probably, on a ranking scale, the second largest JoJo situation they've been in. Number 1 still being when they first got down there and that thing was right behind them suddenly. So oddly fortunate that everything is going so crazy that they're taking out other monsters. As painful as that was to witness happen, the bulk of the win goes to the animation on its spreading, but of course the shock too. See what I was saying about the animation? It soon spread to his entire arm and near enough entire head. So lucky he's got this weapon and smart in using it. What a legend Gaius from the Trails games is. For context, he's the one who made the sword, but that's his name in the game series. Lots and lots of not walking on the spot. Also nice to see the continued showcasing of built up damage on her. She's no longer easily able to walk on her own again. Well, that's not at all ominous.
モンスターが消滅すると即座に新たなモンスターが生まれ落ちる。つまり永遠に減ることがない。
There's me thinking the dungeon is normally fair and it's just this one-off because of the whole setting off the bomb thing, and yet this is clearly a crazy thing, so yeah, it's wild.
侵入者がいると分かれば全てのモンスターが押し寄せてくる。大丈夫、気づかれずに超えてみせる。
The mangaka seriously became an expert at making tense scenarios pop up organically by this point in the anime. I'm totally on the metaphorical edge of my seat. So very tense. You easily scored another win for it. I'm learning a lot going through this season. I guess monsters really do be acting weirder than I thought. Ah! I knew something bad was gonna happen. Getting a fat win for being seemingly the largest one he's ever let off.
前の敵の殲滅を背後の敵は私の魔法で何とかする。
I think this is her moment, where she plans to give up her life for Belle to escape. I suppose she's putting her sense of justice, doing what's right, and all the other life lessons into action.
これでいい。
That is so sad, and his pain and anger and confusion is expertly put across.
もう戦う意味などないが。
I liked that. There's no point defending myself anymore, but she can't quite stop either. She was never my favourite character, rarely saw enough of her initially to be able to call her that, but she's risen massively throughout this season, and so it hurts to see her like this.
わざわざ回ってきた。私を守るために。
Don't even care, that's getting max wins. I had a feeling he might be running around to get back to her via that other entrance. Let's freaking go!
そういう人はね、英雄っていうのよ。
Such an easy win. I did say I wasn't gonna stop winning that amazing chime attack, and I ain't stopping now. Another max wins for that. This overtakes the last one that I said was the best in the third quarter video, I think. Godly that was. Easy one to kick off the start of the episode. Actually getting to see how her family was wiped out back then. I had a feeling it would all be leading to this moment, and I'm glad I was right. I knew she was brave back then because we were told that she had engaged it, but seeing her do it is a different story. How someone who was almost her enemy within the clan gave her arm to defend her in this moment and ultimately saved her life. showing us that they did go on to the attack after the initial shock, trying to form some kind of group attacks. Won't show it, but one of the women hit by the attack as it flung back at them did some of the best screaming voice acting I've ever heard. Legit might be the darkest episode yet. One arm gone, the other arm gone. Boy oh boy, this anime really hit its mature phase here, didn't it?
でもリオンなら正しいことを選び続ける。自分の正義を貫き通せる。
Knowing why she survived and how it wasn't through dumb luck, but people giving their lives up for her because she always does the right thing in the end.
お願い。約束よ、リオン。
Real nice touch that.
アガリス・アルベシーズ。空を渡り、荒野をかけ。
Long story short, so much violence, but the scenes where they give their life are just incredible, really. Each dealing damage to their foe before being taken out. Max wins. Seeing her so badly hurt and then going toe-to-toe with it for a moment before again being so badly hurt but still launching a final attack got me proper emotional. What a brilliant mixture of voice acting, the pain coming through her voice, and the gorgeous animation. Having to take out her leader, friend, and idol there in that attack, and of course the art style animation on it. The shock that even with this attack, it still didn't die and merely ran away.
生きなければという使命と死への渇望が勝り合い、私を苛み続けた。
I'm glad we're shown how she ended up going from a light path to the dark one she was on until just recently, one of revenge and wanting to no longer be here, hopefully altered by Belle now. Also take one here for going without an OP this episode to give us this full backstory's conclusion.
それとも罪を償い死ぬべきなのか。見失い、何もかもわからなくなっていた。
After a whole lot of revenge and violence, seeing how she was in the end, found and brought in by this inn crew. Her pleading to go with her fallen comrades was a very emotional scene, to be honest.
クラネルさん。
リュウさん、よかった。
なぜです。
I might be wrong, but I believe that, even though they survived, they're literally even further down now. What a fourth season! So many twists and turns! So dark! Incredible, really.
下ろしなさい。私を置いていきなさい。
嫌です。
私もここで死なせて。
I think this is where Belle is becoming a hero off the field, as it were, living up to his ideals here and his sense of justice, even if she's actively fighting against it right now.
それはきっと正義です。神様もリリもエルフも僕も。
Context. She was saying she's a bad person. He said, "You've given me so many things." Then leads into all of the great things she has done for everyone he knows.
だからリュウさんは正義を捨ててなんかない。正義は生き続けてる。
Feels so good to see this come full circle, where in the start on that floor, she was helping him so much and now he's helping her, giving back when she needs it most. Just when you're having a calm and relaxing moment, this happens! Well done. Really, really well done. Totally sounded like it bit his head, but thankfully it was Belle taking it out. Oh my goodness, I felt so nervous there for a moment. Take that win.
お願いです。もう二度とあんなことをしないで。
Oh, she is so cute like that. For clarity, in case you forgot, Belle was awake but luring it in as she taught him, but that head on his chest bit. Oh my word, so adorable. Also again, just like at the start, no ED either, so have another win.
まさか聞いたことがありません。37階層に水源があるなんて。
I just had an amazing thought. I wonder if Marie can make her way down there and maybe heal them both? So hyped! Have one more for the end of this episode. It felt so good to just see some life and colour for a change down there. They're safe. They've had a drink.
気にしないなんて不可能だ。
Elf undressing scene.
もう誰も死なせたくない。そう思ったから。
彼は本当に。
His raw honesty in terms of why he came back for her and that lovely music makes for a hell of a scene.
肌を寄せ合いましょう。
Go on, Belle, my son. Elf butt view. All jokes aside, that's an adorable scene.
ホワイトパレス唯一の植物かもしれませんね。
How the mangaka injected life into these deep floors like this?
残すは第五縁壁のみ。それをくぐってしまえば36階層への連絡路まで迷路はありません。
Let that sink in. They're still not out of the floor they fell into at the start of the second half of the season. Normally, it feels like seasonal anime run 100 miles per hour, but not this one. Cannot catch a friggin' elongated break, can they?
あれスカルシープスパルトンの骨
This bloody thing ate and rebuilt itself a new arm from a skull sheep. Now I've seen it all.
速度が落ちてる目で追える
Telling us this, as I did wonder how he was dodging and blocking it, but it makes sense given that it's not its original body any longer.
バカな。この攻撃は真相の回数。
That has got to be one of the coolest looking close attacks I've ever seen in anime. You can literally see her body falling just away from the formation of the spikes.
ファイアボレタ
He is insane! He just closed the wound with a firebolt. Has there ever been a bigger JoJo situation in the history of anime?
シルさんたちの元に帰れます。
私たちは帰れる。
That's so sad. She's lying as she has tears building in her eyes once he says, we can go home together, right?
温かい。
Genuinely emotional moment right there. Well played.
僕はこの人を守る
I don't know what he's gonna do as she falls asleep, but man, he's a true hero in my mind. I think I already said that, but it's so true.
ファイアボレタ
Okay, here we go. The build-up has been insane. Let's see how they wrap this 4th season.
ようやく私も。
ダメよ。あんたの正義は失いたくないって叫んでる。あんたの正義はまだ生きてる。
I don't know how much of this is really happening or whether it's all a dream, but it's great to see her former leader telling her the final thing she needs to hear right now.
なのに正義を捨てたなんて思い込んじゃって。それもあなたらしいです。
Her old friends giving her strength by not allowing her to believe that she had turned evil basically and lost any and all sense of justice.
彼を助けたい。
シルたちの元へ帰りたい。リオン、逃げちゃダメ。
Hearing her be truthful with herself, losing a self-loathing and hatred because they do not hate her, they do not blame her, was amazing to watch unfold like this.
大好きだった。大切な人たち。
A straight-up wonderful parting moment, easily worth one more. A great-looking continuous motion shot there.
ベル、あなたを一人死地に行かせない。
I love her, she's brilliant.
でも今は今度こそは大切なものを失いはしない。
How awesome is that, to actually animate her running whilst casting the spell and deflecting those attacks?
アルゴレッサー
On top of refusing to quit winning the chime, naturally they get one for the animation and voice acting greatness. You got that right, it's Max wins, baby!
ファイアボレタ
Bell teleport down the barrier. This is not a drill.
お前の速さは私が一番知っている
It looked like it dodged like it did the first time, but she's aware of that and doing this.
あんたやだ
Not sure how legitimate this is, but you're insane if you think I'm not going to win it regardless. I changed my mind. I think it is legit and it is equally as sick. That's one that'll stick in my mind. It even made me emotional. So much was on the line. It went on for so long. The odds were so huge. Damn man, well done. 100% beautiful. I'm refusing to believe that that's another enemy. Refusing! Zin from the Trails game series being in this anime would ever not be a win. Oh my god, they found them! I'm so happy!
急げ。あとは人間に任せろ。またすぐ会えるぜ。
Oh, it's so genuinely sad that in spite of them finding them and returning them to health, they now need to take off because of the optics of it right now. I'm smiling so wide, it's physically hurting you, boy. That noise she makes when she's knocked back. Oh man, glad she's so happy to know he's okay and wanted to see him so badly, plus how they're both okay, and of course the sight she's clearly giving them all. A good packed witness one, eh? Back-to-back wins, this hilarious slow-mo attempt, I'm guessing, to stop Belle from seeing the glorious sight, and of course one for the glorious sight itself. Elves be praised! And that's the result. Would you look at that view? Look at it!
彼がいなければ私はとっくに死を受け入れていた
Glad to see that just prior he's giving major props to her for living through it, and here she's doing the same for him, in a figurative sense as well as physically aiding her. Such an easy one here for seeing all of their allies together, safe now, and being shown some love by the people who they mean a lot to in this world. Really warmed my heart.
お尋ね者の疾風は死んだってことになったらしいぜ。
Ah, I like that a lot. A chance for her to completely start over in every way, shape and form, built upon by the last dozen episodes or so.
相打ちになってくたばっちまったんだよ。
Also nice to see him going along with the official story in order to help her as well.
すっかり正義の眷属扱いらしいぜ。
Feels like a touching moment to put her past behind her once and for all, even knowing that her meant-to-be evil alter ego is even still being seen as a hero for justice in death now. Normally these sites mean a lot to me due to the time and effort that clearly goes into them, but in this one it's even more so after all of that time in the dungeon.
作りすぎたリゾットが余ってるから早く食べに帰ってきな
Those words from the woman who runs the inn, which basically means not only are you welcome back, you're more than welcome to come home.
リエさん
Look at how cute and nervous she is waiting for Belle. She's like a completely different person and I'm here for it.
変でしょうか
いいえすごく似合ってます
Even more cute reactions.
こんな場所があったんですね
A sight from within the city that's so good, I had to show it first.
私の中に正義があると言ってくれたあなたの言葉で私は立ち上がることができた
Them giving a lot of thanks to one another, but also this fantastic character arc for her. Really expertly handled through this season, and a chunk of the last, really. Very impressive. Also take one for going without that ED as well, no less.
ありがとうベル
よかった
She looks really beautiful here.
綺麗ですこれまでよりずっと
失礼します。アリーゼ、私は一体どうすれば。
So what I read from this, she was already very much fond of him, now it's true love, I dare say. One more for an outstanding season, the best yet. Don't forget, I did this entire project, just like all the others, entirely by myself. If you want to support me and vote in everything I cover and so much more, check out the link to Patreon down below, or do a one-time payment to PayPal, also listed if you fancy it. Thanks so much for any and all support, couldn't do it without you. Darth Weirdo, Fiji, Mao Liao, Mushwin, Nick Wyndham, The Elementator Wars, Christopher Willis, Emmanuel Gonzalez, Fancy Turtle, Kepan, Minimasher, Marquez, Nozomi, Orkeeper, Order Botanisi, Steelers, The Epic Commander, Bird Without a Word, Brendan Greer, Brian Bayard, Cameron, Christopher Tarasa, Commander Cyrus, David Freerix, Devicool, Doggos for Life, Dragonstorm 35, Guru, James DeFoyer, Yor Edvinson, Kevin Alston, Cumfroy, Miora Night Sky, Mr. Mansu, Nightly Winter, Peter Milligan, Robert Jackson, Ruby Rose, Sataki Ari, Zions 44, Sean, Starkip, Tiger Lily Warrior, Alexander Schwartz, Ali 50, Amadillo, Arnador, Brainless Ben, Cecilia, Cedric, Cloud Garden, Dante's Soul, Dante's Face, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Donald Newborn, Dragon Defender, Dragon Boy 1, Drake's Daughter, Iso, Francie, Furious Mo, Garrett Vermeesh, Henrik Jensen, Host Losritter, Israel Caldera, Joe Crims, Jason Davies, John, Jaffa 6263, Kai Wolfspring, Kelnock, Kevin Nelter, Kevin 102, Knuckle Duster, Cody Niemeyer, Kai 158, Carl Jones, Laxor, Laxus, Liam Gagati, Lifty, Lionel Schultz, Luis Minito, Marvin, Mason Stelfer, Matthew Blansett, Michael Lewis, Miran Ardron, Modavira, Mr. Firecool, Nathaniel Gigramosa, Natsu Dragneel, Nick Monaco, Nick Pell, Nuvagown 1928, Oliver Smiley Reacts, Olive Wharf, Onyx Caliph, Oscar I. Lopez, Owen Halloran, Porgy, That's a Fish, Q-Flash, Chris Harris, Rimuru, Rodiz, Roll Tide Wes, Ryan DeViri, Sadaholic, Sakumi Iorum, Sarcastic Truth, Shadow Cleanser, Snowy, Stan, Storm 970, TRS, The Danish Muggle, Thrasher 340, Tomo Sandy, Vernon Hogan, Wacky Normal, Will Sass, Willyman.